Next, we will do a simple data transformation using Power Query Editor. So what are the common data transformation that we do it as part of any ETL project? Cleaning, right? Common data transformation. These are the common data transformation that we do it, right? If you use, yeah, my net connection is unstable. That's what the message I'm getting it. In case, if this connection, if this get disconnected, don't worry. We'll continue the session tomorrow. Rarely it happens. This is the first time I'm posing. Okay, common data transformation. In Power Query Editor, we will see how we can perform the common data transfer, something like, cleaning, deduplication, formatting. This one, we will discuss it as part of Power Query Editor. There is a dedicated session for that. So today, we will just see how we can perform the basic or the simple data transformation. Okay, look here, I just click on the home ribbon. I'm going to click on the drop down, which is next in the transform data. This is called a drop down. You click on it, you'll find the transform data. Select that one and wait for some time. It will open up the Power Query Editor. You remember, I told you this kind of our kitchen. This is where we do the data cleaning, everything. And wait for some time. Look here, sales W04 retail store. So all these tables, you can see it here. But in Power Query Editor, you need to call the tables as queries. He himself, Power BI itself, calls these tables as queries. Queries are nothing but tables, don't worry. Okay? Because it's a Power Query, it considers everything as a query. Okay, don't worry. So now I select the sales W04. Now I just want to make sure that I need to keep only the relevant columns in my data set. Let's say your manager given you reporting requirements. You want to create a report. He wants you to create a stunning, awesome, nice looking report. And at the same time, that report should give a lot of insights to them. Okay. So in that case, what you do is you just check what are the columns that are required in order to create the report. Okay. The report, as per the reporting specification, what are the columns that are required? You are just taking a look at it here. And then you are thinking that this column is not at all useful. I'm not going to use it. I'm going to remove it. Now the question is, why should I remove it? Let it be there. If you have too many columns, that one will also slow down your report performance. Keep only the relevant columns. Okay, but that doesn't mean if you are in your to create a report for any specific report, you need only 5 columns. That doesn't mean blindly delete all the columns. Maybe for other report, you may need other columns. Okay, make sure that the column which are not at all useful in any of the reports, you delete those kind of columns. For example, row.id, it is not at all helpful. It doesn't give any sense. Okay, it's kind of a artificial number. Okay, I just removed it. How I removed it? Just select the column name, right click on remove. Good. So the next step is removing a column, unnecessary column is also one of the common data transformation. In the interview, they'll ask you, as part of ETL, what are the data transformation you did? So you tell them, I have removed the columns which are not at all useful for us to create the report. Fine. The postal code is also not required. You can, sorry, I just undo this. And just look whichever columns are not required. And if you go here, the postal code, you see NA is not available. That means, there are some countries, the postal code is not at all available, blank values. And I'm thinking that is not at all helpful. I'm going to remove it. So I remove 2 columns. When I remove these 2 columns, just by clicking on the column name and clicking on the remove, it got removed. Very good. But if you see here this is called your formula bar. Like in Excel, here also you have some kind of formula bar. You can see something like remove table dot remove column, change type and row dot ID postal code. So this is the M script. This is called your M script. Okay, M language. This is called your M language. Which one? This one. The table dot remove columns is called your M language. Or M script. We don't have to write this M language or M script. What happens is when we do any data transformation, data shaping, behind the scene, this is what is happening. Okay, it generates the code on our behalf. It generates the script on our behalf. Let's assume that if you don't have the point and click option, you have to write script like this. But since we have this option is available, point and click on the remove. All we did just select this one, click on remove. That's all. But behind the scene, for the Power BI to understand, the Power Query Editor generates a script. Look here, row.id postal code, remove columns. This is the these are the built-in functions. These are available as part of the Power BI itself. Okay, these functions were developed by these functions are already available as part of the Power BI software. And all you need to just click on right click on the column and click on remove. Behind the scene, it generates the script, something like that. Try to be familiar with these scripts also, at least to some extent. Okay, for example, I want the postal.code column back. Mistakenly I deleted it. You can go here and select this, and you can delete this one and delete the comma also, and then press N, go to the end and press N. Look here, you got your column back, postal.code. You understood? Okay. So, right. So try to likewise, you just make some changes to it, simple changes like how I did it. Okay. Fine. So now you learned how to remove the columns, and how do I get back the column which I removed it? For example, I deleted a column. Later on, I realized, no, I need that column back. Okay, in that case, you can go and do it here. For example, again, I just show here, remove this column. Look here, when I clicked on remove, it got removed. But in the script, it made something like this, right? row.id, comma, post. Later point in time, you can go and take a look at here. What are the columns that I deleted it? Okay, this is one way of seeing it. The other way of seeing is, you can click on the steps here. So these are the steps. Can you all see it here? The applied steps section. Just beneath the applied steps, you can see various steps. Source, promoted editors. See here, you need to remember very clearly the applied steps. What are the steps that we carry out? What are the steps carried out by the Power Query Editor automatically or by itself, right? That also got recorded here. It's something like in our apartment, we have CCTV. So with the help of the CCTV, we can find out which person came first, which person came next, right? The order you can see it. The same way it stores whatever the steps that we carry out, whatever the transformation that we carry out, it stores in sequence. But this source, if you click on the source, this step we did not carry out, right? This step carried out automatically by the Power Query Editor. It loaded the data from this file. Okay, this one we did it as part of the Power BI desktop itself, right? In the report canvas itself, we did this. And when you open this, it will automatically generate something like these steps and promoted editors. Okay, it generates the right. Next step is created automatically by Power Query Editor. And then next step is the change type. The change type also, first three steps carried out by the Power Query Editor automatically. We did not do anything here up to this. First three steps, we did not carry out anything. And next one is, this is the one, replace the value. Yes, this is the one we carried out. So you remember in the last session what I did? I just went to the sales column. Yeah, in the sales column, I replaced the dollar by empty string. To remove the dollar, that is what I did it. Okay, and the next one is again replace the value. I replace the NA by 0. In the last session we discussed, right? I hope you remember it. And change type 1. You can see that the sales column got converted as the decimal number data type, and finally remove columns. So with the help of these steps, if you go through the steps step by one after another, you will be able to understand which steps you carried out first, which step you carried out next. For example, I wanted to get back my two of the columns. A mistake in later point in my manager tells, hey, don't delete these two columns. Okay, you deleted it. Is there any way you can undo this step? Yes. How do I do this? You see this step, right? Remove columns. When you click on the change type step, you can see as part of this what we do. We change the sales column data type to number. And when you go to this step, when you click on the appropriate step, you can see the corresponding script generated by Power Query Editor. So I want these two columns back. How do I do that? So I need to undo this step. How do I undo this step? In Power Query Editor, Control Z. The Control Z will not work. Okay. See, I'm going to use the term Z. Americans, they pronounce Z as Z. Okay. So here I want to undo this step. So I'm going to click on the cross mark here. Since Control Z will not work, for example, I just go here. For example, I, step one, right click and delete. Something I did it. So, and then I want to remove it. I just deleted it, right? No. And then I realized, no, I need that delete. Control Z we press. This Control Z option is not available. You cannot undo the step which you carried out. Which step? You remove the two columns, right? So in this case, instead of using Control Z, you can click on the cross mark. That step went off. So now if you see your data set, the row.id now came back again. And then similarly, the zip code also, you got it back. Postal code, yes, you got it back. You understood? Okay, now again, I'm going to delete the remove columns, postal code, and then the row.id, I'm going to remove it. But in this case, what happened? I removed two columns. It put these two columns into a single function. But according to us, the last step, what we carried was removed columns. But we removed two columns, one after the other. Though we removed the two columns one after the other, it generates, it puts the two columns in a single function. Later point in time, you realize that I want to get back my postal code column alone. If you want to get back these two columns, click on the cross mark. No, I don't want the postal code column to be deleted. Mistakenly I deleted. You just go here and remove it from here, and then you do it. Okay. But don't remove the curly brace and all. Okay. Make sure that when you make any changes to this generated script, you need to be very cautious. Okay. Press enter. And if you scroll towards the right side, you'll find your column back, postal code column. Very good. And what are the other things? Let us take a look at other columns. We can see that other columns seems to be good. Everything seems to be good. I just go to the order date column here. The order date column, if you see here, next to this, we can see an icon ABC. That means this order date column is a text data type. This is not a text data type. This one's supposed to be a date data type. I need to convert this as a date data type. So how do I do that? I can click on this icon. You can see various data types. These are the data types that are available in Power Query Editor. You can click on the date data type directly, but don't do it directly. Before you convert your current values from one data type to another data type, you just check the format of the values in your order date columns are consistent. Look here, this is your month, date, year. This is a US date format. In USA, they follow the month, date, year format. In India, we follow date, month, year format. But with this first data itself, you are able to understand it's a US date format. And next, you just take 128. This also month, date, year format. Very good. Everything is good, but only problem is, look here. When you compare this data with this data, you can find some difference here. What difference? The formatting. Here they use the forward slash to to understand which one is month, in which one is date, which one is year. It's kind of the delimiter is forward slash. With the help of the delimiter, we can make out quickly which one is month, which one is date, which one is year. Here the delimiter is hyphen. We have a mix of forward slash and hyphen. If you go and blindly click on the ABC and try to, when you click on the date, it will throw an error. Somewhere you mentioned for, it will get confused. So the only solution is you follow the consistent format across all the values, which means either you can use forward slash for all the values as a delimiter, or you can use hyphen for as a delimiter for all the values in the column. Don't use the mix of these two things, it will get confused. So, okay, now what I do is I keep the cursor here and I right click on it, replace values. I'm going to replace the hyphen, all the hyphen by forward slash. Or you can do it in the opposite way also. I prefer forward slash as a delimiter. Okay. So go and find out wherever hyphen is there, replace that hyphen by forward slash, hit OK. Now you can see that the hyphen got replaced by forward slash, isn't it? And then click on the ABC icon. Now if you click on the date column, sorry, even then now it is giving error. 1 second. We have some other technique using locale. When you work with date column, make sure that you are selecting using locale option. This is important. Here you need to specify the date type as the date, data type as a date, and locale here English United States. English United States. That's all. Okay. Hit OK. Look here. Now you can see that here the calendar icon, you can see it now here, right? Now we are able to successfully convert the text data type to date data type for the order date column. It is not straightforward way of doing it. You need to check all the values that are in this column are following the same format. If it is not following the same format, you need to change it to the correct format and then click on here and then go to using locale, and here you need to select the data type and then select English United States. Okay, because this format is the US date type format. Okay, fine. So you might be asking this question. Yes, we have selected US and United States, the date United States. Why it is showing the Indian date format now? So for that, we need to do some kind of configuration changes, which we will see it later. Okay. So I'm going to click on close and apply. Look here, we are currently in Power Query Editor. Remember this. So what do you mean by close and apply? When I click on the close and apply, it will close this Power Query Editor, and at the same time, whatever the changes we made it. For example, we have we have replaced the hyphen by forward slash, and then we have changed the data type from text to date data type, that to United States format. So all these things, whatever we did, it happened in memory only. To make it permanent to my model, you need to apply this. But you have three options here. Close, it is a pretty common sense. If you close it mistakenly, what will happen is all the changes, steps that you currently, it will not get applied. It will be gone. Apply, it will apply all the changes permanently to your file, okay, and model. And when you use close and apply, hey, I'm done my job with Power Query. I don't need this Power Query to be open. Close it, and at the same time, whatever the changes that I carried out, that also you applied to my data set permanently or to my model permanently. You can go to the model view and wait for some time. It is loading it now. And if you scroll towards the right side, yeah, sorry, not this one, this is the one, sales W04. And what column? Look here, order date. Next to that, we can see the calendar icon. Very good. For you, the assignment is, we have the ship date column in this data set. Look here, ship date. It is showing nothing, it shows here, right? It should show the calendar icon here. The same way you change it to the date data type. Okay, the way how I explained, that is an assignment for you all. Okay, give it a try. I'll share this report file without fail today, right after the session. Don't worry. Okay. Yesterday I told, yes, it's not that I forgot it. I thought I realized later we can include some more changes and then we'll share it with you. We'll share it with you. You need to make sure that you are downloading this file immediately and store it in your laptop. Don't postpone it. And then you work on it later if you don't have time. Okay. So, but make sure that you are downloading it then and there. Okay. So you can see the next to the order date, which means whatever the changes we made it in the Power Query, when I clicked on close and apply, it applied to my model. Yes. Very good. Now the question is, one student asked, is it possible for me to change the data type in the data view itself? Okay, 1 second. Here, do we have the ship date column here? Yeah, ship date column is there. If I click on it, I can see that it's a text data type. Okay, the same thing you can find it in Power Query Editor also. But here, in the ship date, I want to convert the date data type. If I blindly go and select it here, it will throw an error. Because here also you can see the inconsistent format of the values. Somewhere you use the hyphen, somewhere you use the forward slash. But here you don't have the option. When you right click on it, you don't have the option to replace the hyphen by forward slash. Replace values option is not available. It is highly advisable if you want to make any changes here, into a data set, don't do it here. Do it in Power Query. The advantage is you can undo the step. For example, we deleted row.id. If I want the column back, you can go and click on the cross next to that step. It will bring back the column which you deleted it to your data set, right? But if you delete it here mistakenly, for example, if you delete it here, right click on here, also you have the delete option. If you delete it, you get removed permanently. You cannot undo this one. You cannot get it back. Hence, you do everything, all the transformation, data transformation, everything in Power Query Editor. Okay. So now you understood how to change the data type for a column from one type to another type. And before that, what are the steps that we need to do it? We have seen it. And also, we have removed two columns, unnecessary columns. And I explained to you how to get back of the two removed columns, only one column. So for that, you need to make a changes to the mild changes to the M script itself. For example, in our case, I deleted the postal code and the row.id. I want the postal code back. So in that case, I just clicked on in the formula bar, I just removed the postal code within in the curly braces. We found that, right? I removed it. I got back my column. Smart way of doing it. Okay. Fine. The next one is the folder connector. What we will do is we will continue this session. Tomorrow is Friday. Yeah, tomorrow is I'm very tight. And what we'll do is this Saturday and Sunday we'll continue the session. Okay. Saturday, Sunday. Saturday by 12 p.m. we will start the session. Saturday and Sunday. You continue. In the meanwhile, you work on whatever the topic that I covered by watching my video. Fine. So where can I watch the videos? That link I will share it to you. Give me some time. Okay. And by probably right before 3 p.m. you will get the link from me. All the files, whatever I covered, the video files, whatever I covered, I will share it to you. Don't worry. Okay. Any questions so far?